Hey guys, what's going on? Photo Zombies here, and we are going to give you the first look at our CSV Builder for Pixnub. Hey guys, Brian Aver at Photo Zombies, and I'm very excited to show you our application that has saved us so many hours from having to create the CSVs for these Pixnub runs. Now these runs, they can be either a single team, maybe 10, 15 images, or literally tens of thousands of images. So it's important that we get it right the first time. Now the reason that I started creating this application is because there was a time that I was beating my head against my desk for about literally 2 hours. I'm not proud of it, but it happened. And the reason that my runs were not working was because I had transposed two characters in my image name. And the run itself was maybe 200 lines long, only there was maybe 12 images that were not running. And turns out that as I was keying everything in, these were makeup images. That's why I keyed them in by hand. I had transposed two characters. It was a B and a P, and looking at it in all my frustration, I never saw it. So I wrote an application to prevent the manual entry process. So everything is, for the most part, automated. You type in a few things as far as options, but other than that, it really does everything for you. And so I'm going to show you the layout, how it works, and at its most basic use case. And then we're actually going to show you how fast it is to run a single job using two CSVs. Okay, I'm not going to run the job. I'm just going to show you how it is to create these CSVs. So let's go ahead and take a look at the application. So this is the application as far as what it'll look like once you get it started. And what we're going to do, first things first, we are going to open, let's go ahead and get rid of these old ones because we no longer need those. But I want to open up our photo export. Now this photo export can be really anything. It's just a list of your images linked to your access code. You don't need names, you don't need groups or anything, but for the example of this one, we have names, we have groups, so that we can really show you what it's going to look like when we're done. So you can see we have our images. This is a Q code run CSV. That does not matter. It will also work for barcodes as well as in tagged. This just happens to have already been uploaded in the Photo, and the codes have been activated, so that links your player data with the image. And there's our access code. It already has a lot of other stuff associated with it, but this is what we really need to focus on. Now right here, these are general fields that are going to be used for the entire run. So in here, I'm just going to put in 2024 and we'll just say demo league. I can't spell. Now, the order form. The order form is kind of where you just add as many templates as you want. You're not limited. First iteration of this that I showcased at SPAC 2024, it was limited to 5 templates. I've gotten rid of that, and now you are not limited. You can put in 20 or 30 different templates if you want. The only difference is whatever template you're selecting, or what options you're selecting that may be different. So let's go ahead and add 4. So first I'm going to do the 4-5 vertical. Definitely one of the most common that I ever run for any of my jobs, and I'm sure many of you do as well. I'm just going to do 45T in the append file name. I don't need logos or folders. I'm not running any actions on this one. I don't have to set any of these, but I'm going to go ahead and hit add. So now you see we've added one template. Let's go ahead and add another one. I want to create the same 4-5 image using that same template, only I do not want to have the text on it. So I'm going to name this one 45NT, and from there I'm going to call a post action. Okay, the post action is going to be, how I name it is the template template grouping, which is the ascend template set, and then I'm going to name just no text because that's the name of my action. Then we also need a memory mate, so let's go ahead and select our 4-5 memory mate. I'm going to name it MEM, and then I'm going to click on this, and by doing this it's automatically going to generate a team image file name for you. Now it's going to default to your group name.jpg. So whatever is here in this group is going to be what is created. So it's going to be white.jpg, red.jpg, gray.jpg. Now, at its most basic use case, you can't put in what the specific team files are going to be. Yes, this application can handle it. At its most generic, easiest use case, it won't do it. Okay? And in a later video, I'll show you how to do the rest of that. But for now, we just want the application to say, just default to red.jpg. When I create my team images, that's how I do it anyway. Or I will do red_TM. And if I wanted to name it red, or like right here, gray_TM.jpg, all I gotta do is put _TM right here. And by doing that, it'll take your group name, append file name, team name, and then add .jpg at the end. But I don't want that this time. So I'm just gonna leave it blank, hit add. And then one last thing that I like to do is I like to run buddy images on their own template, but I don't want to use this template for all the images. I just want to run them for whoever has designated right here as the buddy image. So that means for this buddy image, I'm going to do the append file name of _bdy for buddy. And right here, you can see, do you want to limit this to buddy images? I'm just going to hit yes. Okay. Now, I know how annoying it is to go through all the work of creating the CSV and not being able to see it before you export it. So what I did is we have a preview on change. As soon as I hit preview, you can go up here to Pixnub CSV Preview. And this is your final output of all of your data. So you can see right here, we have, let's do it by SPA so you have all these numbers together. So we added 4 templates, but for this particular user, you can see we've only got 3. 1, 2, 3. And that is because it's not a buddy. So the buddy template does not apply to this particular user. But we have our 4-5NT, or our T, 4-5NT, and our memory mates. Scroll over. You have your template file for each one. You have your team file for your memory mate. But also remember, for this 4-5NT, we added this post action file. So everything is there, as well as the initial access codes and everything that was in our initial CSV. But our finished CSV for Pixnub, which is ready to run, is all in this data. If I want to get rid of all these empty columns, you can just click on remove empty columns, re-preview it. So now that's all you have. Okay. And what it does is it goes through your entire finished CSV and make sure that that column is for sure empty, and then it just deletes the column. You can see it looks like some of these are blank, but that doesn't mean the columns are empty. They're just used later on. So right here we have our no text. Here we have our team files. And then as far as our buddies go, they're all marked right here with the buddy. You can export into a CSV that is either semicolon, comma, or colon delimited. I'm going to do comma for the sake of this demo. We're going to do create a full CSV as well as a test CSV. We're going to click on Zombify. And that pretty much compiles everything that we've thrown at it. And it's asking, where do you want to save the full run CSV? Save that there. Where's it you want to save your test run? We'll just say test run. Save it in the same spot. And that's all there is to it. Now, the one thing to see here, let's open up those CSVs and see what they look like. So our full run CSV looks exactly like this. A lot of you are familiar with this. If you're here and you're watching this video and you're trying to figure out how to quickly and efficiently make CSVs for Pixnub, this is how you do it. And if you're here, you've created these by hand, you understand how time consuming it can be. And this is just a much easier, faster way of creating it. There's all of our buddy images. So we limited this particular template to only be associated with those buddy images. Now this is the full run. As you can see, we did send it some data and it's 981 images. Okay. So now let's look at the test run. The test run is the same. The difference is instead of all 981, we have one image from each team for each template. So that means for our memory mates, we have one image for each team. We have the file. The purpose of this file alone is you never want to kick off any full long run without testing it. It's one thing to test it line by line. So what we did is we stripped down one row for each template, for each group, so that you know if you can run this test file with no errors, then your full run, in theory, should run with no errors, at least not from a data perspective. If you have a template issue that runs, or if your Photoshop run runs out of memory or scratch disk space, that has nothing to do with your CSV data. And you'll hear me say all the time, the most powerful Pixnub automation is only as powerful as your CSV. Your CSV drives everything. So if I can run this with no changes, then I know that my full run CSV can also run with no changes. If I know that this team file is wrong, let's say it was supposed to be black1.jpg, any changes I make here, I know I will need to make on your full run, and then it'll run just fine. If I have to change this post action right here to run, then I know that I need to update the post action in your full run. That is the purpose of your test CSV, literally to test all of your teams against each of your templates to ensure that you have no errors in your final product. Okay, so now what I want to do is show you how fast it can be to do it without me explaining everything. And this is pretty much how I use it daily when I am doing my own teams or I'm editing for other photographers who use us to handle all their TNI services. So what I do is come in here, I'm gonna open that. I know the year is 2024. We'll say it's for this demo Marble League. It's going to be, I need the 45T. I need a memory mate. Add that. I want it in a CSV so we can look at it. Get our full run. We need our test run. And I'm done. That's how fast it is. How easy it is. Okay. So now, let's split them here. You got your full run CSV on the right. We have our test run on the left. Now this one's different because remember, we only loaded 2 templates this time. And so by only doing those 2 templates, we don't have nearly as much to test. But we've got our groups, we got our team files, we have our access code should we need it, our template file, league name, year, it's all ready to go. And that's all there is to it. So stay tuned. I'm going to do more videos on how powerful this tool can be. It can handle banners with player 2 files, player 3 files. It can do memory mates with custom images, custom team names. It can handle your show layers, hide layers, everything that you need to do in your CSV, we can definitely. So stay tuned, happy editing, and I'm looking forward to working with everyone. Thank you.